My name is Margaret Izardoscui, and today we're going to talk about vocal fry. So, first, I'm going to talk about what vocal fry is. I like to call this the NPR sound, but you hear it a lot, especially millennials, and I'm calling myself out on this. But it is a vocal characteristic that is primarily attributed to women. That said, I personally have had to work on vocal fry, I think, with every single client I've ever had. And that does not matter at all what their gender identity is. But vocal fry sounds like this. It's this sound that you hear a lot of times at the ends of phrases. For millennial women, it's really popular at the ends of sentences and phrases. It's this idea that we die out. That said, a lot of generations employ vocal fry, and a lot of people use fry in different parts of their speech pattern. Now, what is fry? Vocal fry happens when there isn't enough air pressure underneath the vocal folds to allow them to properly vibrate. What this does is mean that they end up colliding together instead of vibrating. We actually at Peacock Voices encourage people not to use vocal fry as a part of their speech pattern for two reasons. The first reason is that there is research out there, it was done by the Mayo Clinic, that says that it could have long-term negative effects on your speaking voice. There was, and I have to mention this, a parallel study done by Johns Hopkins that came out with kind of a neutral result, but nothing came out with saying that it's good for you. And if the Mayo Clinic says it's bad, we're going to say that there's a chance it could be harmful in the long run. The second reason why we don't suggest using vocal fry in your speech pattern is that studies show that people who utilize consistent vocal fry are seen as less employable, less natural, and require greater listener attention and effort, right? So basically, you're harder to employ, you don't seem like yourself, and it's a lot more work to listen to what you're saying. And when it comes to our day-to-day lives, we don't have a lot of time to get people's buy-in. So using that time and energy just to get them to pay attention and to trust us when we could build that into our speech pattern naturally, it just doesn't make sense. So if you find yourself utilizing vocal fry, how do you get rid of it from your speech pattern? Well, first and foremost, you want to figure out where in your speech pattern you're using vocal fry. Are you using it in the beginning, the middle, the ends of sentences or phrases? Are you using it continuously through? Is there a time of day when you notice there's more fry than less? So these are all things you want to be cognizant of. Then you want to practice. So how do we practice this? Well, there's a couple ways. First and foremost, you want to think about having enough airflow or air pressure to keep your vocal folds vibrating. That is truly what keeps your cords together and eliminates vocal fry. So ways to do this are to think about energy. I'm going to use a sentence from the Harvard sentences, our favorite. They're very silly and a little outdated, but they're perfectly balanced phonetically and they work. So the sentence I'm going to use is the birch canoe slid on the smooth planks, okay? So if I were to say, I normally utilize vocal fry at the ends of sentences, it would sound like this. The birch canoe slid on the smooth planks, okay? So if I'm trying to think of more energy here, I'm going to try this. The birch canoe slid on the smooth planks, and I use my energy. Sometimes I like to turn my finger like this as an outside physicalization of that. So let's try it. The birch canoe slid on the smooth planks. Another way that we can think of that follow through or maintaining that energy through the end of the phrase or sentence would be to press your finger really hard on the table in front of you and push it forward. I'm just going to show you on my phone screen because then you can see what I'm talking about. It would look like this. The birch canoe slid on the smooth planks. Notice how my finger is moving through the end of the phrase, and I'm pressing pretty hard on this, and I'm moving my finger pretty slowly. The birch canoe slid on the smooth planks. Another way we can do this is to actually imagine getting louder at the moment in time when you're utilizing vocal fry. The birch canoe slid on the smooth planks instead of the birch canoe slid on the smooth planks, right? Let's try that again. The birch canoe slid on the smooth planks. That increase in volume actually isn't that much louder, but because the intent is there, it eliminates that vocal fry. The final way I'm going to talk about eliminating vocal fry is a little tricky, but this is called the NG. It's an SOVT exercise that utilizes the back of your tongue. And what you do is you say the word hunger with your front of your tongue touching the bottom of your back teeth. Can we try that? Hunger. The back of your tongue is touching the back of your throat. Hunger. Awesome. So now what we do is we take that sentence and we think it while we're in that NG space. And you want to really stay in that NG with a lot of energy. If you start hearing this, that means your tongue isn't staying fully connected to either the back of your throat or the top of the roof of your mouth. So let's try it again, really keeping your tongue touching the back of your throat or the top of the roof of your mouth, depending on where it's sitting. And we're really keeping that energy, and we're going to keep that clean NG sound. Now what we're going to do is we're going to mouth the words for the birch canoe slid on the smooth plank, but still keeping our tongue in that position. It'll look and sound like this. I know it's kind of silly. It's really hard. So if this is hard, take your time. Just practice it. If you find yourself sounding like this, that's because the back of your tongue keeps releasing from that spot on the back of your throat or the top of back of your roof of your mouth. So let's try it again. Really keeping your tongue back there. Maybe imagine sending your sound back. Fabulous. And now, with that same energy and that same air pressure, the birch canoe slid on the smooth planks. So this is another way, and probably the trickiest way, but it works for other things as well, to remove that vocal fry from your speech pattern. I hope this was really helpful. I look forward to seeing you in other episodes, and have a fabulous day.